Booyaka Shaw, what's up, boys and girls? This is your boy coming at you with the latest Fortnite playthrough. I don't know how to play Fortnite, so I couldn't really do much more on that one. This is not that. This is 10 for 10. It's a podcast hosted by myself. I am Dan. This is
Jess.
Beautiful. Seamless. Little edit. We just edited so much out right there.
Oh my god.
This is
anyway.
A lot. I'm kidding.
Anyway.
So every week, one of us will put together a little top 10 list of something we like, something we're passionate about, something we want to know more about. Mm-hmm. And this week it is Jess's turn. So without further ado, let's just get into it. Fuck.
Were you trying not to?
I was trying to not say something like that. Let's
start.
Yes, let's start. Let's have Jess educate us.
This chair that I'm sitting in is broken.
Did you break it?
No. It's down there.
Let me see. Huh. Oh, well, it doesn't seem that important to the actual integrity of the chair, so we'll just go through with it.
If you hear a crash, guys, it's just me. All right, so this week I chose a list, and it's very broad because we can do more specific lists of this sort in the future. It is my top 10 supernatural creatures of pretty much anything. It could be mythology, it could just be legend, it could be folklore, it could be religion even. Just general creatures of the supernatural world-ish.
I realized that last week we forgot to do our theme song of the week, so what's your theme song for this one? Scooby-Doo theme song?
Oh, no. That's it. That
what?
Noise that I just made.
Okay.
No, I guess the theme song for this week would be, I don't have one. I forgot about that.
Shake my head.
Anyway, so let's just start.
Okay.
So number 10, as we know from that one time where I did the Greek gods, I really liked Hercules growing up. So it's a dryad. It's Greek in origin. They are tree nymphs, and they started off to be specifically nymphs of oak trees because dries means oak.
I just thought that dry
old Greek
meant they were on
they
land.
can be. Now they are just kind of any tree, really.
Because naiads are water nymphs. So I always just remembered it as dry, as in land.
I always thought that they were cool because that one scene in Hercules where Phil is like trying to like hit on them and the one just turns into a tree and he turns away and it just slaps him with a branch, and I was always like, oh, that shit gets me every time. They're really good pals with the god Artemis. They just get along really well. She's like, I get you. You just want to fucking live in a tree or whatever. They take the form of a very beautiful young woman. And they only live as long as the tree that they reside in. So they kind of come about when the tree starts to grow. Once that tree dies, they die with it.
So like 200 years.
About.
Give or take.
Yeah. I guess that's why they chose oak trees. Like, that's why they started, because our oak trees, do they live very long?
I believe they do. Let me get my phone. I forgot to silence my phone, so this is a good... Oh, I already had. Haha. It's on vibrate.
They're associated with, like, fertility and water and things that grow and such. And I don't know, I just kind of thought it was kind of interesting, because in some depictions, they can literally, like, turn into the tree, like, become a part of it, but in others, they just kind of live in the tree.
Okay, Google.
This is not a sponsor.
Oh, I have to go through...
Can you just type it?
I have to...
He never set it up. He's just trying to show off right now.
Yeah, they updated it.
Anyway, but I just liked them because I thought they were
Does
fascinating.
an oak tree live?
Wow.
They had oak trees in Greece? Yeah, about 200 years.
Yeah,
Hit
nice.
the nail on the
they're
head.
They're not just oak trees now. I don't know, I just thought that they were kind of cool. It's like, you know what? I'm just gonna park it right here. I'm gonna chill. They can choose when to like leave the tree, when not. And they're just like super naturey. just like love nature. You love it.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Do you like dryads?
I haven't really thought about them too much in my life, to be honest.
I went very broad with this list. Very broad.
They're not very scary.
No. That's why I didn't say, like, scary, like, horror creatures. I said just they're supernatural, they're mythological, folklore-y, just, like, legend, like stories, like, oh, like, legend has it, whatever. But they don't have to be scary. This next one is slightly creepy.
Well, do you have any specific myths that dryads are, like, feature heavily in?
No, because my mind goes immediately back to
Hercules, 1997.
And I can't think of them in any other way. But then, like, I like them in, of course, Percy Jackson series a little, because in the second installment of the series, the Heroes of Olympus, Coach Hedge, who's a faun, has a baby with a nymph. A little goat / tree nymph, baby satyr faun. It's really cute. Are you looking up?
Yeah, there aren't really any myths where they feature heavily.
They're just kind of like in the stories.
And then there's
no drama around them, which is, I think, why I kind of like them.
Oreads as well, which are mountain conifers.
Ah, of course. But, and I like them. There's like no like dramatic stories about them. They're just kind of like, yeah, we here, we chillin'. Just to
Are
be
they like mischievous? Do they have any like qualities about them that make you like them? Like
the fact that like associated with like, fertility and water and growing, it's like just life.
Oh, okay. Because
they just
mermaids
life.
are like known to be like somewhat mischievous, and sirens are.
I do have quite a mischievous one for number 7.
Is it a leprechaun?
No,
Fuck.
Leprechauns aren't on this list.
Idiot.
I like to think that they're slightly similar. All right, so number 9, this one can be creepy, but the myth that I like, which I will be telling you about, is still creepy, but it's not as creepy. Changelings.
Ugh.
They're Irish. So, there are some stories about them that are like, oh my fucking god, fuck no, fuck that. But this one, they're fairy children who replace stolen children.
Yeah, there's a really good episode of lore about them.
Hold on, but they can give the child back when they are done spending time with the human.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes, though, the child will have grown up a little bit and they will choose to stay.
Okay. Yeah, usually it's not like a negative place that they're taking the babies, from what I understand. They actually live in like a fairy world, and it's pretty nice.
The myth that surrounded them, like what people believe, why people came up with like the idea of changelings, is because children who are thought to have like diseases, disorders, or learning disabilities because they have like changed behavior. People were like, oh no, my child has been stolen, and then fairies, they did it. But yeah, so it was also said that it wasn't just fairy children who took their place, it was elderly fairies, so that they could be loved and coddled and just cared for by humans who thought that they were their children.
The Irish are fucking wild.
Yeah, to ward them off, people would leave like open iron scissors or even an inverted coat in like the room, like near like the children, just like something to throw them off their game.
An inside out coat or a coat that's been hung upside down?
Either. It just like has to be something to like throw them off their game. They're very strong in like folklore, not really like myth. And stories say that like the reason that the fairies would trade places with the human babies is because they need human milk to survive. So they would sometimes actually instead take mothers, like who had recently had children, or midwives to live with them. And sometimes they would choose to just stay with the fairies because it's not like they were mean to them. They were just like, we need you to feed us.
Yeah.
Which is creepy. But, like, I like this version better than just, like, the creepier ones. Where, like, they take, like, adults, too. Which, I mean, you don't want to take children, but, like, the adult ones are, like, even more freaky.
In the lore episode about them, which was actually adapted into the TV show. It's one of the episodes of the TV show.
A favorite actress of mine.
Yeah, Holland Roden's in it. It's,
her.
like, about this man who... really believes that his wife has been taken by a changeling, but it's really just his manifestation of his insecurities because she's doing so much better in life than he is. Like, she's a business owner and everything, and this is just like his way of rationalizing it. And he ends up murdering her by burning her alive.
Yeah.
But like he gets everybody in on it. Like,
Yeah, it's real fucked up. So I don't like
really
those.
sad, too.
And I had seen like that shitty Changeling movie with Angelina Jolie, and I was
It's not
like,
that kind of changeling.
no, I know, but like they used that phrase to like, they were like, oh, the kid was like literally switched, and I was like, that doesn't seem right. And then I ended up Googling like after I saw it, and I was like, oh, okay, they got it wrong.
Yeah.
They got it wrong because in that movie, like literally just like government and shit just switched your child with another.
Yeah,
really
that
fucked up. It's really fucked up. But that was a really shitty.
There is another movie called The Changeling, which
Yeah.
came out in the 80s, which is a horror movie, and that one is really good. I won't say anything further just to avoid spoilers, because that movie is really good to go in blind. But that's that's actually a really impressive movie. I really enjoyed that one.
I like the what I found about them because it's just like it's a little bit more like
Yeah, and you're going back to your roots.
Yeah. Why? Because they're Irish?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so like a lot of the time the mothers who were taken or even like the children would just choose to stay, but the fairies would still come home. So it's fucked up for the humans because they would just
Lose
not
the
have-
baby.
Yeah. And or the mother.
So is this more like just the Irish's excuse for if they lost a baby? They'd be like, the fucking changeling, he took him, and
Damn
he was a
fairies.
changeling, and he wanted to go back to live with his fairies, so
Yeah.
that's that. Why am my voice so high? I don't think I can do an Irish voice with my regular like
you
voice.
have to go like
I can do like a
full on.
Scottish accent, but I don't think
We'll
I can
get
do
to
a
some
regular
Scottish later
Irish
on in
one.
this
Ooh,
list.
I'll hold on to that
Don't
one for
guess,
later.
But
I don't.
right.
Oh, that's a little bit, but it's still a little bit
I
higher
still
than my
don't like
regular
it. I
voice.
still don't like it. Stop. Anyway, so are you interested in changelings at all? Like, do
Yeah,
you like this story of the changelings?
I think that they're wild.
Yeah, they are a little bit mischievous when you think about it.
Not in that sense. Just
They're
like
just wow.
it's just also who would come up with that? Like,
I know, and then be like, oh, they need the milk.
It is a little bit boring as well. Like they're not like
I just think I find them
particularly
fascinating because I'm like,
interesting looking.
who was just like,
So are the
you know
fairies
what? I
just-
bet it was. It's fucking fairies.
Everything
Who
was
thinks
fairies
of
back
that?
in the day.
Oh, I
But
love it. And
so
also,
did
do the fairies change themselves to look like
that's what I was about to ask. Do
I'm
they
assuming,
change
yes.
to look, or do they disguise themselves, or do
I
they
think
look
they
like
disguise
children
themselves.
already?
Well, no, because then that confuses me. Like, what, when, like, you get really old, they're like, we gotta send you away to be loved because we can't do it for you. It's because babies are so, like,
Plus, it's like,
coddled and, like, loved
what
by
kind of
family.
fairy would want to like go and it's awesome
Well,
when
the
you're a
thing
kid,
with
but then
them-
it's like, fuck, now I have to go find a profession and live instead of just frolicking in the fields with my fairy friends.
Oh, God.
I have to worry about taxes now.
Oh, God. Well, I don't know if fairies deal with taxes.
Fairies. Got arrested for tax fraud.
All right, so those are the changelings, which I
With
don't know. I
Yoshi.
just kind of I found them cute and still creepy at the same time.
So this is like our lore episode. We should present it as a lore episode
Number
by talking
8.
really close to the mic.
Number 8, Dan,
and
I would like
really-
you to introduce number 8.
Number 8. That is 4 plus 4.
Why am I asking
4 times
you
2.
to introduce it?
16 divided by 2.
Why am I asking you to introduce it?
64 divided by
What
8.
do you think it is?
Is it werewolves?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, so, guys, Dan loves werewolves. He fucking loves them.
I just like werewolves.
No,
I think that they're
you don't
cool
like
and
them. You love them. So,
they just happen to be my favorite and would be number 1 on my list. So
Dan,
convince me why they shouldn't be.
No, I'm going to ask you more things about them.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
so
this is like a quiz show
what's
now.
another, what's another name for them?
Lycanthropes.
Yes. What are they?
Humans that turn into wolves. It depends really, I guess.
When?
On full moons
Usually,
generally.
in most lore.
But it can change depending on the culture.
Different ways that they can be turned. They can be bitten
I
by
know
a
this.
werewolf. Hold on.
And drinking out of the paw print of a
Drinking
wolf.
rainwater out of the paw
yeah.
print of a wolf. They can be born into it. The weirdest one that I found about ways to turn into a werewolf. If you slept outside on
Yeah.
a certain Wednesday or Friday on a summer night with the full moon shining down on you, that is the Italian, French, and German
Yeah, I've heard that
version.
one.
I fucking lost it. It literally
But-
says on a certain night a Wednesday or Friday.
Werewolves they're originally English, right? That's their English lore?
But they're literally in
really
stories
English,
all over.
Anglo-Saxon back in the day.
They're all over the world. But like the first kind of.
It's wild when that shit happens because that really makes you think that they're probably real or were like, real at some point. Because like so many
dragons, because every culture.
Yeah, because every culture, even cultures that never interacted with each other, have very, very similar stories.
Yeah.
Either that or just people aren't creative, and that's just showing how uncreative people really are.
Also, after the witch trials, there were wolf trials.
What?
Yeah.
You never hear about them. Salem wolf trials.
Yeah, because they weren't as popular, but they still happened. They're basically
Is that where the game Werewolf came from?
Oh my god, I love that game.
Because, I mean, you would be thinking that game would be more like a witch game because that's like the famous.
But there were wolf trials, which I think is really funny because it's like.
Well, people probably died.
No. I mean, like the fact that like.
Ooh.
There's a dog singing downstairs.
No, it isn't. It's a werewolf.
No. Anyway, just kind of like. You don't like your neighbors, so you're like that. Yep. He turns into a wolf.
Yeah, that was a big problem with like basically every kind of trial like that, like the Spanish Inquisition. Yeah. Didn't expect to be talking about that today.
Nobody expects that. Guys, I haven't even really seen any Monty Python movies.
It's not from a movie, it's from the show.
I haven't seen the show.
But like the Salem witch trials.
Yeah.
Basically,
crazy.
Yeah, anything doing with religion, like where people were being
ever vampire trials?
Punished. Not that I didn't know about wolf trials, so...
They didn't last as long, and they weren't as popular.
Are there any specific instances that you found?
No,
is there like a crucible for werewolves?
I only found like a short bit of info.
I saw Goody Proctor turning into a wolf and drinking from a foot.
Look, Goody Proctor was an innocent, beautiful woman. Okay, leave Goody Proctor alone.
I actually didn't study the Crucible in high school. So.
I read it before I even had to for school because it fascinated me, and I liked the movie.
Oh wait, no, it's not for some reason I thought the movie was bad. It's the movie of the Scarlet Letter that's really bad.
The Demi Moore one.
Yeah, it's just.
But the actual one, like the original movie, isn't. And it's very like accurate to the book, but the Demi Moore one, it's bad. And I'm thinking of Easy A when she's like talking about.
Yeah, because it ends with like Native Americans attacking the town, which never happens in the book, and
really shitty accents.
What's his face ends up like living like the guy who impregnated her, and his death is like John Goodman. And his death is like a really important part of the book.
Yeah. Who what is his name? No, it's not John. I was getting the Crucible. The name's mixed up.
Scarlet Letter, here it is. Written by Nathaniel Hawthorne.
Yes, we know that. I saw his house. We got to visit his house. Me and my family went to Salem, Massachusetts a couple years ago. In early October. It was very fun. And I got to see the house from Hocus Pocus. Dan, did you find it?
Is it?
I don't remember. I like the Crucible more than the Scarlet Letter. Anyway, so anything else?
It's Arthur. No, it's not Arthur Dimmesdale.
It's okay, honey.
Is. Oh, this is really gonna bother me.
All right. Well, later you're probably gonna yell it out in the middle. So
I'll just go to the end.
Is there anything else that you would like to speak about werewolves? Since you
Dimmesdale, yeah, it is Arthur Dimmesdale.
Owner of the Dimmesdale Dimmadome. Anyway.
Yes. Werewolves are cool. Wait, you haven't talked about how to kill any of these so far.
Would you like to tell me?
Well, how do you kill a dryad?
I left this. What?
Well, how do you kill a dryad? How do you?
I'm not telling you how to kill any of them. My God.
I guess usually with a dryad, it's like burning. Cut down the tree,
and usually it's like burning for most. I feel like supernatural things. Anyway, but no, I left the werewolf one quite big because I know that you know so much about
silver. Usually that's what goes along with them, and wolfsbane. Now it depends. In some, it's kind of like wolfsbane is like the garlic for.
Also cutting off their
vampires.
Heads.
Yeah, it just depends because some it's like wolfsbane will kill a wolf, and some wolfsbane will reveal a wolf, or it'll
weaken them.
Or it'll make it, or werewolves will take wolfsbane on purpose because it stops them from turning into wolves. So, yeah,
like in
basically anything
like in HP
religious related. Yeah,
No.
doesn't he?
It doesn't stop him, but it calms
Him down.
him.
Yeah, because
during the change. Sorry, guys. In Harry Potter, Lupin.
yeah,
He takes Wolf's
Werewolf
name, but I'm pretty
His
sure.
name is literally Wolf Wolf.
Shut up. He's Moon.
He was born to be a werewolf.
Yeah, if he wasn't, I'd be disappointed.
Because they're like Remus and Romulus, the two boys of Rome.
I know.
Who were raised by wolves.
I know.
Much like
anyway,
me.
Yeah, and there's different ways that you can undo it. A lot of the stories say kill the one who turned you. Some say if you're some are it's actually you're in a spell
you either
or some shit.
But also sometimes it's dependent on whether or not you've turned into a werewolf yet.
Yeah.
If you kill, or if you've killed someone else as a werewolf, usually then you can't go back.
Yes, and in some stories, if you are born with the gene, you won't always turn. But if you kill someone, then that will start it.
Yeah.
There's
do you have
so
a
many
list
different
of
stories
famous
about it.
werewolves or good werewolf movies to check out?
Jacob Black.
Okay.
Tyler Lockwood. Hey, Tyler Lockwood is actually pretty
I
good.
would say the two quintessential werewolf movies to check out are obviously An American
Teen
Werewolf.
Wolf.
American Werewolf in London and The Howling. They're both
And
really good.
Teen Wolf. You gotta admit
with
he's
Michael
fucking
J.
great.
Fox.
And then also the TV show, just a little bit. But-
I still haven't finished that show.
I
still
have.
watched the last season.
And I was all right. It could have ended with the first half of the season, because then they took a break into the second half. The first half, that the mid-season finale, it felt like it could have been the end of the show.
Yeah. Okay.
Technically, we didn't need to go on, but we got so many characters came back, which was great. Anyway, okay, so there's my werewolves. 7. Similar to leprechauns in size. Hobgoblins.
Ooh.
Not just goblins, guys. We're talking hobgoblins. They're European, just generally.
Hobgoblin, that's a good Spider-Man villain.
They are the spirit of the hearth.
Hearth.
I say hearth. That's just what comes
It's
out of
hearth.
I know.
You don't say when you're talking about your own heart, you're hurt.
So they were originally considered to be a helpful spirit and such, but good old Christianity was no, they're wicked.
Oh yeah, what
They are
else did they
wicked.
do that to? They did that to something else.
Everything?
The Friday the 13th.
Yeah. So, Christianity deemed them wicked. So, yeah. They're supposed to be part elf, part ugly fairy. And they resemble small, hairy men. So, Danny DeVito.
Jesus Christ.
You can usually find them doing chores in human households while we are asleep.
Wait a second. I just have a quick question. Is Mothman anywhere on this list?
No.
Jessica.
Look, I didn't...
You
I have strong
besmirched
feelings
him.
about Mothman. Anyway,
Strong sexual feelings?
no, oh god, no.
Because
I
you
just care
should.
about him. I care about him so much. But anyway, so yeah, they do chores in our houses while we sleep. They don't really require compensation, but if you must pay them, food, and in some cases, bowls of cream. The Welsh ones, at least. Bowls of cream. What kind of cream? I don't know. Whipped. Heavy. I don't know. So much. Anyway, if you try to give them clothes, they could take that as you wanting them to leave forever, and they will never come back to you.
It's kind of like a house elf.
A little bit, except they won't take it as freedom. They will take it as you saying, "Get the fuck out of here," and
Wait,
they will
so
think that you are banishing
They're
them.
walking around free balling it, generally?
Totally, these little hairy men.
Or are they so hairy
they
that it
take it as-
covers everything?
they don't take
like
it as
a
an
little
insult.
Sasquatch.
They take other compensation as an insult almost, but clothes they take as you banishing them. Isn't that fucked up? They're very proud creatures. And they are very kind and helpful, but they can be quite mischievous and belligerent when they want to be. When they want to be. Are you looking up a picture of
Yeah,
them?
I'm just looking at
Let me
hobgoblins.
see.
They have a very different... Oh, there's a bunch of just the super Spider-Man villain.
Yeah.
Did you know that Ned Leeds from Spider-Man gets framed as the hobgoblin?
Is
he
that his
wasn't
friend?
really. Yeah,
Oh.
but I wonder if they're going to go through with that.
But yeah, so I don't know. I think that is really funny. Because I love the phrase hobgoblin. Because the only time you ever hear it is as an insult, but that's only because they were slandered.
True. Wait, going back to the Friday the 13th, have you heard about this? Friday the 13th was
Is a day.
well, it was a day in celebration of Freya. from
like the Norse.
Yeah, the
story?
Norse goddess. So it was a day about women empowerment and specifically sexual.
Well, that's why they deemed it wicked.
Specifically in a sexual manner and like women's pleasure and stuff, and like it's a day where women are just supposed to be like naked and like pleasured all day or something like that.
Holy shit.
The Catholic Church was like,
evil,
not having any of that.
Wicked.
No, thank you. So it got rebranded as a day of bad luck instead.
Of being murdered.
Sorry.
So next Friday the 13th, just let your freak flag fly, ladies.
Walk around naked in where it's legal, where you're allowed to.
Don't get arrested.
Yeah, don't want to get arrested.
Walk around your own home.
Or if
in a safe environment.
if you live in New York City, where you're allowed to walk around. I don't know if you're allowed to walk around naked, but topless is okay generally.
Anyway, so yeah, I just think they're kind of silly. The name is very silly.
Hobgoblin. It's a fun name to say. What's the difference between a goblin and a hobgoblin?
Honestly, I don't know, and I didn't do much research because I know that you like goblins and that they will probably be on a list of yours, so I figured we could find out then.
Well, goblins are like mostly like the modern day, like how we view goblins mostly comes from J.R.R. Tolkien, like his representation of them. Yeah. So they're like a hobbit sized, like gold a lot. They're
larger.
Usually.
Because they're not, maybe they don't have I don't know what part they don't have, because these are part elf, part ugly fairy. But, like, it's literally said specifically ugly fairy. So, like, wow.
Rip. I didn't even know ugly fairies were a thing. I thought all fairies were inherently beautiful. I thought that was, like, a thing.
But, yeah, so that's my number 7. Number 6, a griffin.
Ooh.
I just think those fuckers look cool.
Is that it?
No.
Going on number 5 now?
Number 5. No, their body, tail, and back legs are a lion. And their head and front limbs, talons, whatever, are an eagle. And I think that's really fucking cool. And they are the fathers / mothers of hippogriffs.
Where do hobgoblins originate from, generally?
They're just European, like, in general.
Okay.
Like, many stories about
Western, Eastern?
I just got general European. I'm sorry.
Shaking my head.
And Griffin, I'm realizing now, I did not check to see the origin.
Oh, his willy's out. I'm just looking at a hobgoblin again.
He's really liking this.
Apparently Puck from A Midsummer Night's Dream is considered a hobgoblin. Shakespeare said he was.
Anyway, so they're said to be very powerful and majestic creatures, and they are associated with gold quite frequently. They are the parent to the hippogriff, along with horses. So if you can picture what you know of hippogriffs.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Makes more sense now, doesn't it?
Makes a lot of sense.
Shout out to Philly, because they are the symbol of the Philadelphia Museum of Art.
Oh, yeah, you get those cool little pins whenever you go in there.
Yeah, they mated for life, so if their partner died, they would never go searching for another. They would just go the rest of their life alone, crying.
That's sad as fuck.
But it's also kind of beautiful that they mated for life.
Also, I think griffins are from Greece. I think
yes, but they're also in many. A lot of people actually thought that the reason...
Oh, shit. That's all right. Ancient Luristan. That's where they originated.
Of course.
From
known.
First millennium BC, so it's a while back.
Yeah, I like lions and I like eagles. Eagles, Philly.
Jesus.
Look, I chose the griffin because of Philly. I'm kidding.
And it's a common last name.
Yes, in their nests, you would find what was thought to be eggs, but it just ended up being gold. Like gold nuggets.
Do they lay eggs? Or do they birth them like mammals?
I'd like to think that they birth them. Well, because in their nests, people thought that they were finding eggs, but they were just gold nuggets because they were
stupid
hoarders.
Oh, thought you were talking about the people.
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah, griffins are really cool looking.
I just think that they're really fascinating. They just I think they look cool. They don't have wings, but their children, the hippogriffs, do.
What?
They don't always have wings.
I thought you said they don't have wings. I was saying, yeah, they totally
don't always.
Do. They're usually represented with wings.
Not always.
They're used in a lot of heraldry, too.
Yeah.
And symbols a lot. griffins, lions, dragons, that kind of stuff.
Eagles.
Yeah.
But just like imagine seeing that, like walking down the street and you're just like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I mean, they're symbols of power.
Because if like you think about like a lion's body, think the eagle has to be just as large as that. Those talons?
Eagles are big.
Oh, but
actually.
Sometimes in some depictions, their like entire body except for their head is the eagle. I mean, sorry, is the lion.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
But they have like the ears, like really elongated ears.
Yeah.
So people think that that's totally the eagle.
Again, like who just comes up with this stuff? I feel like it's probably just people who like misidentify other animals.
Like, yeah. And also things like when they're like found like bones and stuff, they think that it was just kind of like things died together. And they're like, it was one creature.
Yeah. I mean, that's a problem with
That's how we get to number 5.
With dinosaurs and stuff.
This is how we get to number 5. You ready?
Okay.
Chimeras.
Yes.
Greek mythology to start. They're hybrid creatures they're basically a lion with 2 goat heads coming out of its back and a snake for a tail. That is the common depiction, though they can be seen as other things, but that's like what you would use.
So it's a lion, goat, and snake.
Yep.
Cute.
Real precious. My favorite. I hate snakes.
In Resident Evil 4, one of the puzzles that you have to do is to complete a chimera puzzle. So you have to find the lion head, the goat head, and the snake.
Beautiful. I just like that it sometimes... I like that it commonly has 2 goat heads coming out of the back.
Wait, is that Resident Evil 4? Yes, it is. Yeah.
They are omens for disaster.
Yeah, they don't seem particularly nice.
Bright fire. I don't know where it's coming out of, though, you know?
I would imagine I've heard that each head spits something different. I've heard fire from the lion, like some sort of like gross puke from the goat. Yeah. And acid usually from the snake. It's a whole lot of nasty. Or poison from the snake, acid from the goat.
They are considered usually in most depictions female, even though they have the mane that a male lion usually would, but they are still considered female. They are said to be the mother of the Sphinx.
I didn't realize how many of these animals related to one another and were like, like griffins are the parents of hippogriffs.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, just like look at like a bunch of like different like mythological creatures, and then you're like, wait, shit, that has parts from that. Is it related? And it probably is. I like them because it's like basically just having like different parts of different like creatures. Like they say humans can be chimeras if they get like an organ donor. Technically, because they have parts from 2 different.
Yeah, but it's not like you're getting. I mean, I guess you get like a pig
but,
heart.
They can also make themselves in some situations look like just one animal. It's the fact that they can like change. But I've also seen them depicted with like pincers, like a bug's pincers coming out the front. Shit. Yeah, that too. Which is pretty gross. Yes, the fact that they could turn into like a single creature. They could in some stories, but I think they chose to be their cool, like, 4-headed fucking self. Gross. Yep. How do you kill a chimera? I'm assuming, like most of the others, fire. Well, it has fire powers. No, I don't know. I didn't look up how to kill them. I don't want to kill anything. God, Dan. Well, if I'm a Greek hero... So, if you ever see one, though, expect a disaster or some tragedy coming around the corner. If I'm a Greek hero and I'm walking along and I get attacked by a chimera, I want to know how to defend myself. Is it the classic, are you Greek at all? No. Okay, don't worry about this. Anyway. I could use John Mulaney's money clip idea. Throw him off his game. Yeah. I guess you could just take the heads off, probably. Which one? Probably the lion head first. That seems like the main one. And then the goats, then the snake? Probably then the snake, because the snake is probably the next. Leave the goat. The goats are vicious animals. Yeah, they can blah at you or whatever. Ugh, gross. Yeah, so they're kind of cool. I seem to like creatures that are different parts. Amalgams. Yeah, there is one more of those in this list. Keep it going. Yeah. All right, number 4. It's Norse. The Valkyrie. Ugh, Jesus, triggered. God of War, oh my god. In God of War, you have to fight 8 Valkyries. Jeez. Like,
as like a side mission, and they are really hard if you are like me and went into them underleveled but really stubborn, so I wouldn't stop trying to beat them, even though I like literally could not because of my gear.
Okay?
Yeah, no, it was, yeah, keep it going. I thought Valkyries are more like people.
They are a host of female figures, and they choose who gets to live and die in battle. And the ones that they chose to die, they bring into the afterlife.
Valhalla.
Yes, I was going to say into the Hall of the Slain. Valhalla. Which is ruled over by...
Hell.
No, the god. Odin.
Oh, Odin? Oh,
yes.
He presides over Valhalla? I didn't think that was right.
Yeah.
Huh.
And they appear as lovers of heroes.
Ooh, sexy.
Yeah. Now, I was confused because in Thor Ragnarok, they literally just call her Valkyrie. Does she not have a name?
Probably she does, but since she's the only one left, she's just called the Valkyrie.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah.
I would just like to know if she has a name. Does she like to go by Val?
Probably.
Curry?
Well, actually, here, let's just look her up. She probably, because she's from the comics, so she probably has a name in that.
But yeah.
I'm not too familiar with her.
So yes, they get to choose who lives and dies. But only in battle. They won't take you if you just, like, died in regular old life. They only care if you were in battle.
Brunhilde, because she's based off the Norse mythological figure Brynhildr. So her name is Brunhilde.
Beautiful!
Which just sounds like broom handle.
Sometimes they're described as daughters of royalty. And they can be accompanied by ravens.
Oh, well, that's what classic Norse.
And they also chill with swans and horses.
How do you kill a Valkyrie?
Daniel, stop asking me how to kill everything.
In God of War, it's you rip their wings off. But
God.
in God of War, they're like corrupted. Like they're thankful when you kill their mortal forms because they're not supposed to be in a mortal form. They're supposed to be like an astral form, like always, and like an evil thing. I won't spoil it, but
they are associated with fate and
yeah, they're kind of like the Norse version of the Fates, a little bit.
Yeah, they're kind of like that.
But just specifically when it comes to battle, right?
Yeah. And in Scandinavia, they found amulets that they thought depicted Valkyries.
Cool.
Yeah.
So obviously North, yeah, Scandinavian.
Yeah.
Descent.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think they're really cool. And from seeing Thor Ragnarok, I was like, hell yeah.
I wouldn't really call them supernatural creatures, though. I would call them more mythological.
But I believe, yeah. And I said I'm kind of doing like supernatural, but it involves mythical and all the good stuff.
I suppose.
But yeah. Well, no, and because they do like lead people to the afterlife, I would say that's mythological and a little bit supernatural.
Is God a mythological creature then?
Yes.
Supernatural creature?
Yes.
Am I gay for God? You betcha.
All right, number 3. It's another part something.
I
Go
don't
ahead and
know.
guess. Come on.
Fucking centaur?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be that hard. It's like the most common one. What up, guys? They're Greek. They're human-horse hybrids.
Yes.
But we mostly only ever learn about the male ones. Female centaurs are not often mentioned.
Yeah, because you have to depict them
stories.
with the boobs out, so...
The titty out.
It's a bit rude.
Well, in Chronicles of Narnia, there are some female ones, and they have shirts on.
Yeah, but none of the guys do. Until
Anyway,
they go into war.
So they often have to fight against their two natures.
Horse and horse.
So yes, often some are quite violent and ride into battle and like they like to fight, while others can become like Chiron, one of the most famous centaurs, and be teachers and help.
Is that the horse side?
No. Yes.
Because I would think that horses are probably generally more calm than humans are. And less aggro about stuff.
So yeah, so some are more famous than others, but I just think that they're really fucking cool. And there are some like stories where they came to be where people like saw like excellent like riders on horses in some areas, and they just like they were going like so fast that they were like, they are one, and they just pretended that they didn't see the horse head.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of just like, it's interesting, like who was just like, yes, that man and that horse should be one, but it's like the man is coming out of where the horse's head should be. It's not like it doesn't have the rest of its limbs.
Well, this is going back to the Greek gods episode where you mentioned how Poseidon created horses allegedly, but also centaurs existed before that.
Right.
So he really only did half the job.
Yeah, not even half. He was trying to impress Aphrodite or Athena? And he was like, you know what? I'm going to put a fucking different head on that.
Yeah.
Doesn't need all these limbs. Let's get rid of these human limbs.
That's like if I was like, oh, I'm going to make a new car. And I just like took my current car and just like gave it a paint job. And I was like, this is a new car now.
He was trying to woo someone. But,
well, I do drive a Mustang, so I'm a bit of a centaur myself.
No, you're not.
Because when I'm driving, my car and I are one.
Wow.
It's an extension
I'm
of
a
myself.
Kia. What does that make me?
IKEA. There you go.
I'm not a Kia.
I think about my familia and I drink my Coronas while I'm driving.
Oh my God, Daniel, please don't. That's really dangerous.
And I wear my cutoff vests.
You barely even drink alcohol. Good Lord.
And I do street races. Please
what do
stop
you think
me.
about centaurs?
I'm running out of steam
What
here.
do you think about them?
I think they're cool. They usually are depicted as bow and arrow enthusiasts in most things.
Archers.
Which makes sense because I guess hand-to-hand combat for them is a little difficult because
they just kick. Oh my God.
Like really tall, so.
How do they brush their tail?
I think that they can probably like turn around or they just get a buddy to do it.
Okay. These are the questions that I need answered.
Yeah. So on a centaur, is there wee where
they have a horse dick?
Regular horse? Yeah, but like in the location of the horse? Or like is it like further up? Like
location of the horse.
Okay. How's that?
Do they have two stomachs?
Maybe they have a really, really
I need
long
to know
esophagus.
the anatomy, like the exact anatomy.
Do horses have one stomach or do they have chambered stomachs like a cow?
I don't know. What about hearts? God, guys, these are just blowing my mind. I think it's because like all the other ones, like they still are technically like the size, but this one it's literally just half of a human plopped on top.
It's because they were created by people who barely knew the anatomy of a human being and a horse, so they didn't really have to think this one through. They were like, "Ooh, this is where the life gas escapes from," or whatever the fuck they believed in. With the Greeks.
All right, you ready to get...
This will extinguish the fire in his chest that is keeping him alive and the horse alive.
Stop. All right, you ready to get Scottish?
People from the past were dumb.
You ready to get Scottish with number 2?
Yes.
What do you think it is?
A selkie?
Yeah!
I thought those were Irish.
Mostly Scottish. They're also Irish, but...
Those are cool animals.
All right, so... They live lives as seals in the water, but they shed their skin and become human once on land.
And they have to hide their skin.
Hold on.
Oh.
Hold on. So, they have to hide their skin because when it comes to females, if a human man finds their skin, he will hide it, and she is forced to become his wife. But she eventually finds it because usually they have children, and the child usually finds it and is like, what's this? The mom takes it, immediately returns to the sea and is like, goodbye.
Yeah.
And returns to her selkie husband. But she will never visit the human again. But she might, like the guy, but she may return after 7 years to visit her children.
I've heard either taken as the wife or they have to just be their servants.
Yeah, usually.
Same thing, am I right? Well, the old ball and chain.
Selkies are described as being very handsome when human.
I actually didn't know that they came in male.
They have seductive powers over human women because they're not as common. Because they don't usually go on land as often.
So that's why just seals we're talking about here.
Seals, yes. And if a human woman would like to make contact with a male selkie, she must shed 7 tears into the sea. Swear to God, if she does less or more than 7.
What, does she summon like the Kraken or something?
I hope so.
by accident.
Some stories say that the humans might not know that they are intimate with a Selkie, and they may wake up and find that they are in bed with the Selkie form.
As a seal?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that Scottish people just invented furries a long time ago?
Yeah.
And now we're reaping the benefits of that?
Yep.
Except I guess these weren't really furries. They're more like slickies. Because seals are really slick.
Some people are very bad, and they will burn the skins of the Selkies that they can never return. And it can often be seen a human Selkie staring off into the distance at the sea.
So if you look at the sea, then automatically you're a Selkie?
You're a Selkie. I don't know. I find them very fascinating. Because, like, who the fuck is, like, you know what would make a hot human? That seal over there.
That weird cylindrical fat thing.
Because, like, they're all, like, seen as, like, just, like,
not fat.
Insanely beautiful and gorgeous.
Blubberous.
So, blubber.
Not really fat. I'm trying to think of, like, they're just, like, really thick in the middle. Yeah, thick in the middle.
Thick in the middle. But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of find them very interesting. Because it's not like, oh, they still keep a part of their seal, or, oh, they keep a part of, like, the human. They're not like mermaids at all. They just fucking, oh my god, stop.
I Google image search Selkie, and I'm kind of regretting it, because there's so much fan art.
Yeah, people
found a male Selkie.
Oh god, that's literally just a buff seal with legs.
Oh god. Okay.
Okay, Daniel, get out of that.
I'm stopping with that.
But I don't know. I just kind of find them interesting because I really just want to meet the people that were like, yeah,
seal. I think it's probably someone was like, I want to fuck that seal, and then everyone was like, what the fuck?
He's like, no, when it's a human.
It's a woman under that.
God,
blubberous,
guys,
beautiful,
try it.
Smooth skin. Wait, we're already on number 2?
Yeah, this is a pretty fast list.
What was number 3 again?
Number 3 was the centaurs.
You are right. Cool.
So, you ready for number 1?
You betcha.
Getting back to that Irish stuff.
Leprechaun.
No.
Damn it. I don't know.
Here, let me give you a preview.
Oh, a banshee.
Yes, guys, I hope you liked that. They're Irish.
Yeah, they're
the wailing woman.
Too.
It's a female spirit.
Yes.
Always. They herald the death of a family member by screaming, wailing, etc. She is seen as a harbinger of the coming doom. Shout out. And she's depicted in many ways. Sometimes she has long, streaming hair, wears a gray cloak with a green dress, and her eyes are red from the constant weeping. She also may be dressed in white with red hair and a ghastly complexion.
They're scary.
Yeah.
They're kind of like the human version of, Jesus Christ. The American version of, like, the spirits that are used in J-horror a lot. Like, kind of like The Ring.
I hate those.
Yeah, like The Ring or the Grudge. Like,
or Shudder or...
Classic kind of like white.
Yeah.
Like,
except they have red hair in this.
Completely white, white dress, long hair, like that kind of.
Did you not hear that I said
aesthetic.
that sometimes they have long hair, but they wear a gray cloak over a green dress, Daniel?
Spooky.
That's not white, and her eyes are hella red.
Well, yeah, just the usual depiction.
Crying.
Yeah,
no.
is just or blood.
No, it's from the crying. She doesn't kill them herself.
I know, like she's crying blood. She's a harbinger is what I was saying. Doom.
Oh God.
It's creepy.
But it's creepier. She gets to just let out her emotions. She gets to yell a lot.
So, do you think a banshee like has like a schedule that she's like given by whatever higher being is above her? And it's like, okay, 2:00 on Thursday, you need to be at the O'Flaherty's. The grandma's gonna die. You're gonna be there for about 5 minutes. You're getting, for this case, it's gonna be about 15 an hour. So make it last.
Real quick. In Welsh folklore, there's a similar creature known as Hag of the Mist.
Heard of her. Yeah.
But yeah, I just like, excuse me guys, I was yawning. And if you see numerous banshees, it means that a great person is going to die. Just a fucking awesome person. Or, like, a king or queen or, like, somebody super important. If you see several of them. Sometimes her wail can be so piercing that it will shatter glass. It can be heard around the world in some stories. Let's see, what else? What else did I find? What? Were you going to say something?
Oh, I was just scratching. Sorry. Itching my beard.
Oh, yeah, and when several, it can also mean the death of someone holy as well.
Okay. Do they have any other abilities? Can they float?
No.
Well, I guess if they're a spirit, most spirits can
I guess so, but
fly.
mostly they're just kind of here to be like, ah! And everyone's like, fuck, someone's gonna die. They aren't the ones that kill them, they just, like, they know.
Do you think banshees ever, like, pull sick pranks and just scream when no one's gonna die?
No, I think
just to make everybody super paranoid.
No. No. So, since they predict death, in some situations, they will scream to warn people not to do like something.
Okay,
it's
so
like, it can be a warning.
Yeah, so it's not an unavoidable death necessarily.
Not always.
That's cool.
In some stories, it is a warning. In some, it's just like, you're gonna die.
Sorry.
I don't think they're sorry. I don't think they really care. She can be seen as a shrouded woman crouching under the trees with a veiled face or flying in the moonlight, crying bitterly.
Screaming in the moonlight.
It is more mournful than all. It is more mournful than all the other sounds on the earth.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I would not want to hear that, like, ever. That just sounds really painful.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I ended up actually getting super into banshees, oddly enough, because of Teen Wolf, because I really liked Lydia. And now that I'm thinking about it, she is a super pale person with red hair.
Maybe they did that on purpose.
Probably. But, so that's how, like, I got interested in them. That's in Holland Roden as well. She was the one in
Talk about a character change. That was a good arc.
Yeah.
When she started as, like, really superficial, like...
pretending not to be smart and all that shit.
That's a good one.
But yeah, so yeah, that's my list.
So how do we kill them all?
Stop!
Because I am from Supernatural, the television show, and I will never die.
But what is another birthday when you are immortal and will never die?
That was a good list. That's not how I would have done it.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to do something similar around
broad.
Halloween time.
You want to go more movie monsters, right?
Well, like horror monsters, scary stuff.
See, I wanted to go with just like general myths and legends.
Folklore creatures.
And folklore. Not all of them are folklore.
I feel like everything can technically be folklore in a sense. Like if you think about it.
I mean, banshees are Irish folklore.
I hear the banshee.
Stop it.
She screams. She wails. Someone's going to die.
I forgot, can be considered a fairy, but that's not a very common thing. Yeah.
That was a fun list.
Thank you.
That was a good time.
Basically, everyone's a fairy. Everyone is at least 5 parts of a different animal.
Essentially, you're either a fairy or an amalgam. So, that was that week's list. I hope it spooked you as much as it spooked us.
It wasn't meant to spook anyone.
Thank you for listening to this episode. If you liked us, don't be shy. Give us a like. Tell a friend. Tell all your friends. Tell your school.
Tell your mom.
Tell your dad. Tell your siblings. Tell your dog.
Cousin.
Tell anybody who will listen or you think would be into this kind of stuff. We try not to really fall into one category. I mean, we do a lot of movies.
We haven't done that many movies.
We've done a couple.
What? DComs.
MCU.
That was you.
Best of 2017.
That was you.
80s.
That was you.
Okay. Well, I did a lot of movies.
I did Disney Channel original movies, and it was a fucking bomb.
And just to kind of give a preview of what's coming up, I'm thinking maybe next week to celebrate Solo coming out. I'm not super excited for it. I might do prequels, like best prequels. I'm kind of toying with that. I don't know if there are 10 good prequels out there because they tend to not be very good. But I'll figure something out.
I mean, Rogue One was a really good prequel.
Yeah, but they can't all be Star Wars. And in that case, it's only 2 good prequels of Star Wars.
What else then?
I don't know. And also, I'm thinking for sometime in June for the new Jurassic World, probably dinosaurs. I don't know if I want to do dinosaurs in general or specific dinosaurs that have just been featured in the Jurassic Park movies.
What's your favorite dinosaur?
I can't do that because it's a spoiler and no one's going to listen to the episode then.
I can tell my favorite dinosaur.
Okay.
Can you guess?
Pterodactyl?
No.
T-Rex?
No.
Velociraptor?
No.
See, I don't know that many. Triceratops.
Yes.
Okay. Although the Triceratops, I was going to say this earlier, isn't actually its own dinosaur. So that was just a baby form of another dinosaur. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. At some point, we're going to do dinosaurs because dinosaurs are fun as fuck.
Land Before Time when they were little. Let's rank those episodes of movies.
Yeah, there's so many of them.
Let's do a ranking with Jurassic Park movies and Land Before Time movies. Yes!
Here it goes. Jurassic Park is the best, then Jurassic World, then Jurassic Park 3, then...
Jurassic Park 3 is not better than Land Before Time.
Then Lost World, Jurassic Park.
The second one is
then
not
all
better.
Then Land Before Time movies.
It goes Land Before Time movies and then the second Jurassic Park. Okay, bye guys. Thanks.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, or like us on Facebook, where we're just the 10 for 10 podcast. Email us
at
on
10 for 10.
Gmail with 10for10pod@gmail.com, and follow us on Twitter at 10for10pod there. Be sure to tell your buddies, as we said earlier, and subscribe to us here on Podbean. I'm avidly trying to get us onto a better platform such as iTunes or Spotify or Google Play or all 3, but the process of going through approval for those are kind of annoying. So we're working on that right now. Just drop us a line, send us a message, tell me some dinosaurs I should do, or maybe suggestions for lists and whatnot we should cover.
I would love suggestions, guys. You don't know the stress that it causes me trying to think of lists.
Yeah. And even then we could do viewer contributed or listener contributed lists where they come up with a list and we judge how good it is or something we give our own. I don't want to
judge anyone. Anyway, okay, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much. I will grace your ear holes next week. Good.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye. It's going to be my official sign-off. It's official now. It's going to be grace your ear holes every week.
Stop.
From now on.
Stop.
Okay.
Mine is just going to be stop.
Love you. Bye.